Gävle, Gävle.
Good morning again. This is Sunday morning, and we have reached the little town of Soderham, and just had to stop here at this park location in Soderham. Looks like that's the church and bell tower. It may be of an older church, but the bell tower is definitely distinct there on the left hand side. But looking around this little park here, we found some very interesting buildings and flowers. Plus a very beautiful little fountain. Looks like a very stately looking building. They really do a great job with planting flowers for the spring. Notice the very colorful chairs to sit and enjoy the fountain. Before we get too far away from the church, looks like the building over there in the corner must be the priest home. This is probably the prettiest little garden we've seen like this in a town. And I have no idea how they water those flowers up there on that pole, but okay, somehow we always find our way to the water's edge. We're a little southeast of the town of Soderham. This is a little bay that will extend out and towards the Gulf of Bothnia. A lot of boats in this area.
It's a nice looking boathouse. Scene there.
I'm gonna walk it to the end.
Okay, be careful.
Okay. Okay, we have now reached an area called the Steno Camping Ground. And of all things, this beautiful little court here with the high screen must be a pickleball court. There are more campers here, as you can see also by the extra cars. But there's more campers here than Carter has liver pills. This appears to be a miniature golf course. Cute little lighthouse over there as part of the golf course. And I see real sand here. Of course, we are on a beach. It's part of the Gulf of Bothnia. Volleyball in the sand. A little small soccer in the sand. This little ice cream place is not open. Guess these are canoes for rental. A lot of good places for the kids to play. We are now in, I guess, what's called the Steno Natural Reserve. Huge boulders here. Remind me a little bit of the Elephant Rocks State Park in southern Missouri. Reminds you of Maine, huh? Okay. Here in the woods, it's really turned nice and cool with the breeze coming off the water. Very nice walking path through the nature reserve here. Okay, looks like we're reaching the end of this path through the nature reserve. And the wind has gotten stronger as we reach the water's edge. through the opening way off. That's the gulf out there between Sweden and Finland. Versus here along the coastline, see these monstrous rocks. Oh, just little pebbles, I guess. Okay, that's all for now. Okay, I couldn't resist. Had to show you one more item here on the edge of the water. This is a piece of granite boulder. Notice the section on the right that has been split off by water creeping in there and then freezing. But interestingly enough, the extra piece now that's split off is, I guess, far enough in the ground that it's still somewhat vertical. The amazing power of the water and frozen ice. Good morning, everyone. It's Monday morning, the 24th of July, and we are standing at the side of a tourist attraction. It's called, I won't pronounce the name of the church yet. I'll let Kathleen do that.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, this is Heilige Trafalgar's Church. There has been a church on this spot since the 1400s when Gävle was first settled, and it is likely that the town was actually founded here. During Sweden's reign as a world power in the middle of the 1600s, the church was renovated to its present look. The tower, however, was not completed until 1781. The church is one of the few buildings north of the Gävle River that was spared from a massive fire in 1869 that burned down much of the town. The church tower, which leans half a meter, pay attention to that, it started leaning from the moment it was erected due to the poor sand and clay foundation. Gradually, efforts to keep the tower from moving further were successful. This work was funded by an additional town tax on coffee and sugar.
Okay, thank you, Kathleen. This is the first item that we were going to try to visualize in video of a walking tour of Gävle. Okay, notice the bridge across the little river here. I guess it's the Gävle River. And it's got two parts to it because evidently there was a mill here.
The bridge Drottningbron was for a long time the western entrance to the town center. It was built in concrete in 1911 but covered with natural stone to look more solid. The bridge had the country's longest bridge span. The river was an important resource for the people of Gävle, used for water and for fishing. Salmon was plentiful, often caught with fixed fishing devices along the riverbanks. The center of the river was kept open so that boats could pass and so that the journey of the salmon was not obstructed. The right to fish was sought after entitlement that caused many conflicts. Periodically, fishing was also heavily taxed. North in Drottningbron, near the Staffan Niblin's artwork, Aurora Seeger, stood a large brick mill until 1974. In 1622, a small water-driven mill was built on this site, replaced in 1735 by a larger flour mill, which burned down in the Great Fire of 1869. With the founding of A.B. Gävle Vaskvarn in 1896, production became more industrial. Operations ceased in the 1940s, but the names of the adjacent bridge and park remind us of its history. Ida Matan's sculpture from 1924, Gustav Vasa, can be found in the park. And there's a millstone, one of the millstones, right there. We were looking at that. This is a pretty river, and this is this mill race The mill race was built there to bring water down through the mill off of the river.
There you can see the millstone laying flat on the ground. Okay, on to the next one. Again, this is part of the Gävle river that goes through the city park. And there's those beautiful trees again that look like they're self-trimmed on all sides. I can't get over those trees.
Geniuses by Carl Miles. Created in 1948 and moved to the city park in 1983, this statue was created by one of the most famous Swedish sculptors, Carl Miles. The word genius is Latin and means good spirits. Flying angels were one of Miles' motifs, and this can clearly be seen in the statue. The sculpture has many replicas located throughout Sweden, including one in Miles Park in Stockholm.
Okay, here's another view of inside, if I can call it that, of the old tree-lined street. It had 2 lanes to it. Let's go around here and look the other direction. Looks like it ends not too far in the forward steps. Okay, that's the tree-lined street here in the park. Okay, I get it. Place for the dog to stop and have a drink of water as they walk through the park. Okay, you can't keep these grounds real nice and neat and trimmed all the time unless you have a little extra help. So these 2 guys are busy working this morning. I don't know how much they get paid.
I want to walk over here and go across because there's a cemetery.
We see 2 in this particular area. Far to the left we see a 3rd one. So they put them to work. I would say it probably takes them all day to get this done in the random fashion they go about it. Here we have one coming towards us here. This has got to be the most boring video you have ever seen. Well, he decided to stop there and turn around. Versus this guy is going to make its way over to the path. Let's see if they have any names on them. Oh, he went right through the path. But he's going to bump into the pole. Yeah. He's doing a good job. Okay, that's enough. You can skip it. Okay, we are at a small dam, electric generating source in the city park. And as you can see, there's only one partially open gate. I guess you can hear me okay. Above the roar of the water. as the water makes its way through the rest of the park and then through the rest of the city to get out to the Baltic Sea. Pretty cool to have an electric generating plant in the middle of the city park. We are now in the city center, or centrum. The very stately looking building you see there in the background is what you would call the City Hall, Radhuset. And they have some nice bells that they ring at that clock above there. We just missed the 11 o'clock hour here this morning. You can see the people enjoying the sunshine in downtown Gävle. And looking north, the other direction from the City Hall, you see that the park continues into green and trees and statues and always flowers.
Old Grand Elite Hotel. The architect Turi Stenberg designed this beautiful hotel for a large town exhibition in 1901. When it was inaugurated, it was one of the largest hotels in the area. For 40 years it was used as a hotel and then rented out for a variety of different purposes, including a cinema, nightclub, bank, theater, chocolate store, and cultural school. On August 17, 2011, Vicky Chakraborty at the Elite Hotel acquired the property with the objective of restoring the Grand Hotel, and now we see the results.
As we walking by the police station, they have a nice decorated goat. Okay.
No one will for bread be crying. We'll have freedom, love, and health when the grand red flag is flying in the workers' commonwealth. Joe Hill.
This is a statue erected for Joe Hill after a very interesting event occurred in the United States. Let me get to that side of the statue for you.
It shows him being executed.
On the side here, for words that you do not understand, you can go ahead and translate it. But he was very much into the workers, probably the Workers' Socialist Union or something. And it looks like he died. He was executed in Salt Lake City on the November the 19th, 1915. Let's go to the back here. It has a very unusual picture, or sculpture, showing that Joe Hill was executed. Looks like several men shot at him. And that's the back of the statue. I would say depicting workers
Standing up for their rights.
Standing up for their rights is a good point. Here we are looking up another section of the old town, Gävle. You can see the little houses, narrow street. We have some live actors performing for us. Oh, They're just tourists too. Okay. We were fortunate to find the actual house that he grew up in. Here's a different angle to see the size of his house, Joe Hill's house. Okay, let's take a look here of the crater that was created by the collapse of part of the mine. Probably many centuries ago. Here's another panoramic view of the pit.
And there's water at the bottom. I can see the water running.
Next, you could have been had.
Wait, doesn't tall. On the left here, we have the shaft head that you've seen some videos of, at least an attempt to show the bottom of the shaft. Here on this side is what's known as the wheelhouse. And you've read something about the wheelhouse.